Hello, my name is Maya, and today I will be talking to you about my commemorative speech highlighting my mom. My specific purpose is to talk about my mom's educational achievements she has made in America. My central idea is to talk about the educational achievements she has made in America being an immigrant in a commemorative speech format. So if you can imagine yourself at 19 flying to a brand new country by yourself, you can imagine yourself as my mom. The first ever plane ride that my mom boarded was heading to the east coast of America, and she was going all by herself, leaving her family behind. Why she did it? She did it because when she graduated high school in Ireland, she didn't really have any options for career choices or anything that she was interested in, so she decided that leaving the country would be for the better in trying to find her passion and have more educational choices. Some background is my mom is from a small town called Ireland in Cork. My mom is from a small town called Mallow in Cork, Ireland, and she grew up on a dairy farm with her 7 brothers and sisters and her parents. Her life was very sheltered. She had never really known about American culture before she boarded this plane. So from the small town of Ireland to the west coast of America, my mom has made many major achievements in education and been the best mom ever, and that's why I'd like to highlight her today. So, excuse me, from the age when I first started school, my mom was the teacher next door. When I was sick or didn't want to go to school, I would come and help out at my mom's classroom. And up until recently, I actually found myself on a weekend helping my mom plant a new garden for her new school. So all my life, my mom being a teacher and educator has really shaped who I have become. When I was little, I used to be referred to as Mrs. O's daughter, and I loved it, and I loved being friends with all the teachers. In the following paragraphs, I will describe to you how my mom made major educational goals in America, being brave, confident, hardworking, driven, and determined. Not only was she those traits, she also managed to be the best mom ever. So, first off, I would like to highlight how my mom was brave. So my mom came to this country when she was 19 years old, all by herself, leaving her family behind. She did say that when she got here, when she decided to board the plane to America, she was very, very scared. It was her first plane ride ever, and she happened to sit down next to an American couple, where the American man said that she would lose her rosy cheeks in America, and she had no idea what that meant, but it just made her way more nervous to come to the East Coast. She also said when she was nannying in the East Coast, her first job, excuse me, she had a lot of trouble learning how to drive on the other side of the road, and the language barriers was different. For example, she stated once that one day she was nannying for a family and she was trying to put the buggy in the boot, which the terminology in America is different. It's just stroller in the trunk. And so she faced all these difficulties by herself because she was thousands of miles away from her family and didn't have much friends in America yet. So it made it a whole bunch more difficult. That is how I wanted to present to you how brave my mom was, because in any of those situations she could have turned back and gone home, but she didn't. She withstanded it because, as she stated to me, she knew it was going to be worth a better life to not go home. So next I would like to talk to you about how hardworking my mom was. So when my mom made her way from the East Coast to the West Coast, she started working at FedEx. She would work at FedEx at night in the city, and then she would work and then she would go to Alameda Junior College during the daytime. She did this for about 3 or 4 years until she transitioned into SF State. But during that time, she happened to meet my dad and have me and my brother. So now she had the new task of being a mom too. While she was at SF State, I went to SF State, but the preschool. So my mom took classes and I was just down the road at the preschool. And this is actually a picture. of me at my preschool graduation and my mom. So while my mom was at FSF State, she was able to obtain her teaching credentials, which was one educational goal she wanted to achieve. And then when she achieved her teaching credentials, she went on to teach in local Bay Area schools for 15 years. During that time, my mom not only was hardworking and became a teacher, but she also made life for me and my brother really great. We had one of the best childhoods ever. We got to play sports. She was always cheering us on from the sidelines. We got to travel Europe and just do lots of other things. That's how I'd like to present to you that my mom was hardworking. Lastly, I would like to talk to you about how this all paid off and how my mom being determined helped it paid off. So my mom was so determined that even after she became a teacher, she decided to go back to school a few years ago and obtain her master's degree at Cal State University. When I talked to my mom about this, she had said that she was nervous to go leave the classroom, but she knew that the higher pay wage and the new experience would pay off. So when she would teach all day, she would drive 2 hours away, basically to Hayward, and then sit in the classroom for about 3 hours at night and learn about becoming a principal. And then on the weekend, she would sacrifice her weekends to do essays and presentations. And then eventually, last year, it all paid off, and she was able to obtain a principal position at a new school. So that's the story about how hardworking, brave, and determined my mom was, and how it all paid off for her educational goals in America she has achieved. Um, not only was my mom hardworking and she made educational goals, but she also made goals in being a mother, and to me, she's the best mom I could have ever asked for. So my mom having the confidence to travel to America, being brave, hardworking, and determined, allowed her to achieve these goals she ever dreamed of. Lastly, her being so determined in having these goals influenced her to have a dream she would have never thought she would have achieved when I asked her, which was becoming a principal. The reason why I wanted to present to you my mom's story was because in the news these days we see a lot of hate about immigrants sometimes, and that they come to this country for no good, which isn't true at all, because a lot of immigrants share the same story as my mom, which is basically just to better the life they're leaving behind, and better their life that they're gonna make when they come to a new country or America. When I find myself sitting in a classroom sometimes in college and I don't want to be there or I'm tired, I just remind myself how my mom did it all by herself without her family, and that I can do it too, and that my mom had a lot more to balance when she put herself through school. Lastly, my mom has helped influenced how I perceive education and how important it is to me, and I hope that my mom's story influences you on how much education is important. Thank you so much.